Welcome, and thank you for joining us today for the introduction to the CCDF Data and Information System Consultation Center, which will be known as DISC. My name is Shannon Smith, and I am a child care consultant supporting the work of DISC. During this call, the webinar will be recorded and the chat will be available for asking questions at any time throughout the presentation. We will allow time to answer questions periodically throughout the webinar. I know we have been operating virtually for a couple of years now, but I want to remind you that as a participant, you are automatically muted and the video option is disabled. Today, you will hear from my colleagues, Alex Mainetto, who is the project director, Ryan Berger, who is a technology consultant, Jesse Farley, who is a child care consultant, and Meredith Russell, who is a child care consultant and will be monitoring the chat. We want to thank Paula Bendel-Smith, our contracting officer's representative with ACF, for being available to support us on this webinar, as well as Crystal Robinson, who is a strategy consultant for supporting our technology needs throughout today's call. As we move through the agenda, you will hear about the background and objectives of DISC. You will learn how DISC can support lead agency priorities, learn about the CCDF IT environment scan and the opportunity to receive intensive consultation. And the last thing we will share is additional upcoming technical assistance opportunities within the next couple of months. To fully understand who is on the call today, we will launch a poll with 2 questions. The first question asks about your years of experience working with CCDF programs, and the second question asks about years of experience administering CCDF with the use of technology. We will allow a quick 30 seconds for you to answer the poll. The poll should populate on your screen if you are using a desktop or mobile device. If it does not populate on your screen, your Zoom application may not be updated with the newest version. You can still participate by putting your responses in the chat. We also encourage you to place any questions you may have throughout this webinar into the chat, and we will pause periodically to answer as many as we can. At this time, I will ask Crystal to display the results of the poll. It looks like the average is about 0 to 2 years. 49% people have years of experience of working with the CCDF program. And then for the second question, it looks like it's about the same, with about 60% of people on the call having 0 to 2 years of experience administering CCDF with the use of technology. So we do want to thank you for participating in that poll. And at this time, I would like to welcome Alex Mainetto to provide the background on DISC.
Well, good afternoon or good morning, wherever you may be, and thank you again for joining us. My name is Alex Mainetto, and I am the DISC Project Director. The Data and Information Systems Consultation Center, or DISC, is here to support all CCDF lead agencies in your information technology, or IT, efforts that will drive better user experiences, increase access to childcare, and also achieve more equitable outcomes for children, families, and providers. There are many aspects to achieve these goals, and IT systems and IT sort of sits at the very core of those efforts. This was created by OCC to fill a void and to be a resource for lead agencies as they upgrade, modify, or enhance their CCDF data and IT systems. We understand the importance of enhancing IT systems while administering the 2024's the CCDF program, and how it can support your efforts of really maintaining compliance with the 2024 CCDF final rule, which is ultimately also going to enhance the outcomes for children's families and providers. This is going to be especially true in the coming months and years with the recent changes to the rule. DISC aligns and expands on some of the ACF strategic goals, which are to, 1, advance equity, 2, take a proactive approach to ensure that data can help support a continuous quality improvement process, provide high quality programming, and enabling and promoting innovation within ACF by facilitating the development of new and innovative uses of technology. We are the newest center of the Childcare Technical Assistant Network, or the newest kid in the block, like they say, or better known as CC10. This team includes staff with expertise around technology, childcare, consulting, strategy, and project management to provide a well-rounded approach in serving all CCDF lead agencies. This can be a valuable support and resource for you as you enhance efficiency within your business processes. And we are also available to support your new or existing IT strategic plans. Core to our mission is to help lead agencies develop and implement this IT strategic roadmaps to really plan, envision, and foresee what technology initiatives are needed now in the future, how to prioritize them, what technology best practices should be used, and how to plan for the execution and implementation of these technology programs and your overall strategic roadmap. IT and data systems improvements are going to have a very positive effect and benefit and impact to the families and providers served. DISC aims for data and IT systems to work for the needs of each individual lead agency for the long term, so that any required enhancement or changes can happen with the proper amount of planning. Some of the specific objectives that DISC has are to enhance family and provider access to obtain accurate, accessible, quality, and timely data, to also improve and streamline online access to systems, provide convenient and easy access to the information, and improve the time between applying for and accessing services, to reduce also the burden for providers to receive subsidy payments or licensing and certification information, and also to provide overall improvement of the technology solutions that support all of the key business functions for the agency. The program has really 4 core tenets that are going to be interconnected as we plan the structure on how we're going to deliver all this technical assistance to all agencies. And you're going to get to hear a lot about these terms throughout the presentation. The first one is human-centered design, which is focused on putting the end user, whether it's the families or the providers, at the center of any design or problem-solving process. The approach focuses really on lived experiences to inform how processes are created and improved. The approach makes resources or services easy to use, responsive, and well-aligned to the needs of providers, families, and children. Examples would be, for example, when you develop a customer or a consumer education website that displays data from your IT systems in an easy-to-understand, intuitive, and user-friendly manner. Or, for example, it could be connecting CCDF application and eligibility systems in a way that streamlines that process for families, including the use of mobile technologies. Equity is really core to everything that we do, from how we serve the agencies to the products, resources, and services that we build, to how we design and develop our toolkits and informational resources. This supports allowing lead agencies the flexibility that they really need to adapt and tailor the technology solutions that they choose to the specific family and providers' needs, including accessibility and the use of assistive and adaptive technologies. We also support promoting parental knowledge, parental choice, and decision-making. And in addition, we also provide families an easy way to find and secure the support that they need and making resources available in multiple languages. The third component that you see there is our IT strategic framework. We have built a framework consisting of 10 IT topic areas that will be key knowledge domains in which we're going to base our technical assistance. These domain areas range from IT project management to data and analytics, to IT procurement, or even to IT user experience. Agile is the last component here, and we're going to really focus on being a true Agile partner for you in multiple ways. From how we approach designing your roadmaps, to the recommendations that we're going to make on how to implement your systems, to how we prioritize perhaps and implement changes as needed when new requirements arise. When designing and developing this data and IT systems in an Agile approach, tasks are going to be broken down into what we call short phases of work. Continuous collaboration and improvement will occur by frequent alignments of the plan And finally, we're going to be constantly striving to reach a continuous improvement state for your systems. These 4 tenets are going to provide the guiding principles for the program and for all of the resources and services that we will provide to the lead agencies. With that in mind, now let me turn it over to my colleague, Shannon Smith, who's going to take you through the DISC Technical Assistance section.
Thank you, Alex. DISC's guiding principles include centering collaboration, innovation, accountability, diversity, relationships, and equity and inclusion. DISC is unique in its organization as we are supporting lead agencies with technology enhancements. IT system creation, procurement, and integration are going to be high priority for lead agencies, and they will have a thought partner and advisor in DISC. The DISC webpage houses our technical assistance activities, materials, and additional details on the CCDF IT environment scan and intensive consultation, which we will discuss later during this webinar. The webpage features the CCDF IT Resources Clearinghouse, which contains multiple resources organized by the topic area. We encourage you to check out the information under each topic area and check back often because we will be continuously researching and adding useful resources regularly. You can go to the next slide. Part of our ongoing TA is researching and curating a variety of resources from trusted sources, such as the Child Care Technical Assistance Network, universities, and other government entities that can help CCDF lead agencies assess and improve their IT practices and capabilities. These resources are categorized into 10 IT topical areas and can be found on DISC webpage under the IT Resource Clearinghouse. These topical areas will be used as the framework for the IT environment scan and the maturity model. Your agency may be looking for information about how to create user-friendly websites or better engage the public through social media. Those resources can be found under IT Communication Management. There are several resources related to data sharing innovations and designing data visualizations under IT Data and Analytics. IT Transformation houses information related to some hot button topics, such as AI, which is artificial intelligence, and cloud-based solutions. There are several resources currently available on our webpage regarding the cloud. The design, development, and implementation of responsible and secure AI is a focus of DISC, and we will provide advice to lead agencies on how to do just that. And with data breaches always in the news, cybersecurity is a top priority for any agency managing public records. And there is a wealth of information under the IT security and risk section. With the passage of the 2024 CCDF final rule, many lead agencies may consider how the new rules can provide opportunities for significant changes to IT and data systems used to serve families and providers. This can provide resources and information on building out systems for the future that can be easily updated as changes occur. Before we move on into the remaining part of the webinar, let's take a look at some of the activities this will be conducting over the next several months. Each of these activities will provide foundational knowledge to lead agencies as you begin assessing your data and IT system needs and build off of each other. We will go more into detail on each of these later on in the webinar. Our webinar series and peer learning sessions will be geared towards providing CCDF administrators and lead agency staff with foundational knowledge of IT processes and systems. Accompanying the webinar will be an IT glossary that will house the terms discussed in the webinars, as well as other IT terminology, for example, the terminology that will be used within the CCDF IT environment scan. The glossary and the webinar will help to demystify some of the tech terms that you may come across as you work with IT staff to develop or enhance your systems. A primary activity this year will be the CCDF IT environment scan, which is a data and IT system needs assessment for lead agencies. It measures a current baseline of each lead agency's data and IT systems across topic areas such as project management, data management and analytics, and procurement. The scan is critical to understanding the needs of lead agencies so that so that we can provide a more tailored approach to our TA services and address the issues that are most pressing to you. The scan will also help to inform a maturity model that benchmarks and measures your progress over time and ensure our TA is delivering the expected results. Finally, the scan results and maturity model will help inform lead agencies of where to focus funding and energy while completing an IT strategic roadmap, which should be completed before embarking on any IT system development or improvement. So at this time, Crystal will launch another poll asking about other technology topics you would like to learn more about. This is a short answer, so we do ask that you put in a couple of words for that. And we're going to leave the poll open for 60 seconds. If you are unable to answer within the poll, please place any topic areas into the chat. We will also take a moment to address any questions or comments from the chat, and please feel free to type any questions you may have as well. And Meredith, I'm just going to ask, is there anything in the chat that we need to address at this moment?
Not at this time, thanks.
All right, thank you. And just a little information for our lead agencies. You should be able to contact your regional office in order to discuss how you can work with DISC for any projects that you would be interested in including us on. So we want to thank you for participating in this poll. And at this time, I will welcome Ryan Berger to share more about technology activities.
Great. Thank you, Shannon and Alex. Good afternoon. Good morning, everybody. We appreciate you being with us today. So let's talk a little bit more about what to expect from the CCDF environment scan. We'd like to share how the scan can benefit lead agencies before we go into more detail. As a self-assessment, lead agencies will have a tool to gauge the degree to which technology has been implemented to support the delivery of childcare and their satisfaction with the current state of data and IT system functionality. Completing the scan will be a useful exercise for lead agencies to sit down and critically assess how satisfied you are with the current functionality of your IT systems and development practices, and whether your IT and data systems are meeting expectations and requirements. The scan results will benefit your programs in other ways, like finding opportunities for collaboration with other lead agencies that may have valuable insights on effective technology uses in certain areas of CCDF administration. It will also provide a way to benchmark your current IT environment across multiple categories and see progress over time through annually updated scans. Information from the scan can be used by lead agencies to identify specific areas of their programs related to the IT that may warrant additional investment. The scan is a key step in supporting CCDF lead agencies to leverage technology to help improve the experiences and outcomes of both families and providers. Results from the scan will add to the understanding of how data and IT systems are currently used in the delivery of equitable and high-quality childcare services. Information from the scan will also help DISC provide timely and relevant technical assistance to support improvement in these systems. It will also play an important role in DISC's intensive consultation, which will be discussed later on in this webinar. DISC has scheduled the release of the scan for the late summer so that it does not interfere with your work this summer to submit your CCDF plan that, of course, is due July 1st. The scan results will drive better IT systems in 3 ways. Scan results first will focus our TA delivery to ensure that we offer assistance that is most responsive to the data and IT needs of CCDF lead agencies, including leveraging what has been proven. It can be used to align lead agencies to TA opportunities in areas where it's needed most. Second, scan results are one input for informing what we're calling a maturity model. A maturity model is a way to benchmark the current state of data and IT systems across multiple CCDF program functions and industry standards. Third and last, the scan also drives data and IT system improvements that yield the highest return on investment because there are never enough resources to do it all or to do it all at once. The scan seeks to inform how data and IT systems can be optimized to improve the experiences of families, providers, and partners by understanding your current data and IT priorities, plan changes across CCDF functions, program design, and policies across lead agencies, as well as sharing emerging practices across CCDF partners. So the scan is organized into two main sections, one section for general topics and another section that is focused on childcare business functions. The general section is organized into broad topic areas with specific questions about the practices and methods used by the lead agency. You'll notice that these topic areas match what is on the DISC IT Resources Clearinghouse webpage. As an example, we want to understand if the lead agency has a dedicated IT project management organization, this could be full-time or part-time, and whether they outsource most of their data and IT systems work, as well as if they use best practices, things like agile methods and human-centered design practices to design and develop their IT systems. As another example, in the data and analytics area, we want to understand how the lead agency is leveraging key performance indicators, reports, and dashboards to highlight potential issues and to drive decisions. And we also want to understand things like data flows so that we can work to reduce data duplication and improve data quality and data sharing. The second section of the scan will help lead agencies to self-assess their key business functions as they relate to data and IT systems. A business function is a set of core activities necessary to administer the CCDF program. We've listed 5 here that will be included in the scan. We know that many or all of these processes require some level of technology and that the data systems for each of these functions could either be integrated with one another or they could be standalone. For each of the business functions, we want to understand the level of automation you currently have and what improvements you are planning. Lead agencies can rate the extent to which they have achieved an outcome or agree with a question. You can also rate the quality or satisfaction you have with the current implementation of these processes. So for example, if an answer shows that a given function is not very automated but is deemed high quality, we may want to look at how a current high-quality automation solution might be extended to include these additional processes. As another example, where there is significant automation but low quality or satisfaction, we may want to help you think about how to modernize these IT systems so that they provide greater value and effectiveness by aligning program design and operational policies and procedures within your IT environment. We also want to understand whether you have an existing IT roadmap for the improvements you want to make in these areas. An IT roadmap is often a visual or a graphic of an organization's data and IT goals that will take them from where they are today to where they want to be in the future with regard to their data and IT capabilities. The roadmap may also show the high-level phases necessary to accomplish these goals, including initiatives and timelines. An IT roadmap is a living document that also serves as a communication tool and promotes transparency about where the organization is going. We'll talk more about IT roadmaps in the next section of the webinar. So where we find clusters of needs, typically where there might be low automation as well as low satisfaction, we as DISC can help target TA to help achieve your outcomes, including compliance improvement. Lead agencies will also be asked to consider the primary players or roles in each business function to ensure that we address the needs of these partners. Our goal is that DISC TA helps lead agencies achieve effective and efficient operational and process improvements, adopt technologies that are affordable and sustainable, and that they optimally share data to improve quality and user experience. There are also questions in the scan related to different aspects of the 2024 CCDF final rule and how certain changes may impact your data and IT systems. The scan will ask you to consider expected effort that may be required to modify existing systems and processes to fully implement the components of the final rule. The questions provide a good opportunity for lead agencies to assess the variety of ways the rule changes may affect different systems and consider specific needs or challenges you may face as you update or enhance these systems. The scan will help inform how DISC provides overall change management support as technology, program design, policies, and regulations are all changing simultaneously. So the scan will be available online to allow for skipping and branching based on responses to the questions. We understand that certain business functions may not be applicable, so if questions do not apply to you based on your answers, they'll be automatically skipped to save you time. The The scan will be delivered using the ACF Qualtrics platform, which allows respondents to access the scan using a desktop, laptop, or mobile devices such as a tablet or smartphone. The mobile view will be optimized for the smaller screen, and as you can see here, may appear slightly different than the desktop view. The respondents will be able to save their progress and move back and forth between devices should you need to do that. We estimate that it'll take approximately 30 to 45 minutes for each lead agency to complete the scan, and it may take longer to gather the data depending on the knowledge of their respondents. We understand that many different business functions and responsibilities may not exist within a single office, and the scan will allow for collaboration across those different offices or organizations. So multiple respondents will be able to complete different portions of the scan on your own as necessary. We do recommend that the scan be completed collaboratively by the CCDF program administrator or program specialist, as well as an IT project manager or IT specialist. We want to ensure that we get the best and most comprehensive information available. Please note that DISC will also be offering a more tailored version of the scan for tribal lead agencies that speaks to all of these topics but may not be in the same format. Technical assistance such as webinars, office hours, instructions, and a glossary of terms will be made available to all lead agencies prior to and throughout the period during which the scan is open. More information on each of these events will be released in the coming weeks. Next, we'll talk a little bit more about intensive consultation, but first we'll take a break for a quick poll.
Thank you, Ryan, for providing the overview of the CCDF IT environment scan. At this time, Crystal has launched a poll asking about who makes the decisions about technology within your CCDF program. We will leave the poll open for 60 seconds. If you were unable to answer the poll within the application, please place your response in the chat. We also want to take this opportunity to remind everyone on the call that the webinar is being recorded and will be available on the DISC webpage. Once you have received notice that the recording is available, please feel free to share it with other staff on your team that may not have been able to join today's call. We would also encourage you to think about any IT staff who may benefit from being on future DISC webinars as they relate to the CCDF IT scan or other topics. All right, and we thank you for your participation in this poll. And at this time, I would welcome Jesse Farley to provide more context about intensive consultation.
All right, well, thank you all very much for being here. My name is Jesse Farley. I am a child care consultant with DISC. I'm very excited to be here. And I'm excited to share with you one of the services that DISC is going to be able to provide to lead agencies, that is intensive consultation. It's an opportunity to work one-on-one with subject matter experts in IT systems, in technology, in data, and also CCDF operations using iterative human-centered design techniques to develop and implement an IT strategic roadmap that reflects your unique data and IT needs and improves experiences for families and children. During intensive consultation, lead agencies will collaborate with DISC to create or improve IT strategic roadmaps to achieve your data and IT system goals, and also provide ongoing consultation and advisory support throughout the implementation of the IT strategic roadmap. So to begin, you may be asking yourself, well, what is an IT strategic roadmap? Well, an IT strategic roadmap is a document that first details key goals for implementing improved IT and data systems. It also outlines the initiatives and steps necessary to achieve those goals. It defines the timelines in which those initiatives need to be completed to move toward the goals. And it identifies dependencies and potential obstacles for implementing improved IT and data systems that meet CCDF requirements. The roadmaps are developed to be able to give leaders an overarching plan and strategies for designing new IT and data systems, upgrading existing IT and data systems, and identify which technologies are best suited to meet your organization's needs. An IT strategic roadmap helps get you from where you are to where you want to be with your data and IT systems, because without a roadmap, many people get lost along the way and end up taking a route that may not get them where they want to be, or it may take them a lot longer to get there and end up costing more money. So intensive consultation is meant to be a long-term commitment of between approximately 9 to 36 months in total for anyone requesting to participate, and it's split into 2 distinct phases. The first is IT strategic roadmap development, and that's the opportunity for CCDF lead agencies to work with a dedicated team of DISC subject matter experts and consultants for approximately 6 to 9 months to develop an IT strategic roadmap related to improving, enhancing, and or building out IT and data systems that are going to meet your specific needs. The second phase is IT strategic roadmap implementation, and that's when select lead agencies will continue working directly with dedicated DISC teams who will provide ongoing support and consultation services at no cost to lead agencies for up to an additional 24 months as they take actions to implement priority aspects of your IT strategic roadmap. Now, the application for intensive consultation will be available this fall, and collaboration between DISC and those selected lead agencies is expected to begin in January of 2025 to develop IT strategic roadmaps. So let's take a look at some of the services that DISC can provide to benefit lead agencies as they tackle some of, or as you start tackling some of your IT and data system initiatives. So intensive consultation is DISC's individualized technical assistance, and it looks to make large-scale and long-term impacts on how technology is used to implement the CCDF program and ensure that it operates in the best way possible for each lead agency. Now, we understand many of the concerns and challenges that face lead agencies with updating, enhancing, or rolling out new systems based on the many changes on the horizon. And intensive consultation provides an opportunity to utilize DISC staff to assist lead agencies in planning and managing these IT changes. For the first step, the DISC team will work side by side with lead agencies to develop a comprehensive plan for the IT strategic roadmap. Once that phase is complete, DISC will continue providing ongoing support to select lead agencies as you begin implementing priority parts of that roadmap and plan. So maybe you need assistance in improving your online presence to be a little more user-friendly in providing data and information to families and providers. DISC can be a partner in determining the best types of system modifications or changes that might need to be made in your specific program to comply with the recent 2024 final rule changes. We know many lead agencies will need significant system changes to make enrollment-based eligibility and payments a reality, and DISC is here to support the necessary IT enhancements. We can also help design projects to improve access to quality data so that dashboards can be created and enable data-driven decision-making. And maybe you're looking to roll out an IT system for the very first time. Intensive consultation can be an invaluable resource to help plan and manage that process from the beginning, including assistance with contracting IT vendors, determining requirements for data and functionality, and training staff for continuous system support. The goal is for lead agencies to be able to utilize modern technology solutions that are flexible and can easily be modified to incorporate future changes as needed. Now, it's important to note at this point, there are some services and actions that DISC will not be able to provide, and they include things like source selection of IT services, the direct hiring of any IT staff, direct development of data management and IT systems. DISC will not be writing, developing, or supporting system code. We would not be purchasing or funding any hardware or software, and we would definitely not be granting any policy approvals or policy directive issuances. So with that, let's go through some of the high-level overview of the process to request intensive consultation. So first off, it's important to note that all state, territory, and tribal lead agencies are eligible and encouraged to apply for intensive consultation, where you'll answer a few questions related to your data and information system goals. And lead agencies will need to meet some prerequisites to participate, including completing the CCDF IT environment scan that we talked about earlier, also needing to identify an executive leadership champion that has authority to dedicate appropriate staff and resources to the project, and also identifying outside entities, such as other government agencies or non-governmental organizations involved in the administration of CCDF in your lead agency that may need to be involved. DISC will review all application responses. We'll consider several data sources that provide additional information on each lead agency, and then make recommendations to OCC, who will then make all final selections of lead agencies to develop IT strategic roadmaps. Some of the considerations that will be made will be based on things like the impact of the request, equity for tribes and territories to ensure those interested will be able to participate, distribution across multiple regions, review of the improper payments report, 2024 CCDF final rule impacts and CCDF compliance, along with resource allocation and other priorities identified by OCC. Initial contact between DISC and the selected lead agencies will occur following OCC's written notification of selection to introduce the teams and to be able to sign TA agreements. So IT strategic roadmap development is going to follow the 5 steps on this slide over the course of approximately 6 to 9 months. Frequent collaboration is going to occur between DISC and the selected lead agencies during each step. And I want to note that some of these steps may overlap, and the total time that this may take is between approximately 27 to 38 weeks, depending on, some differing factors, as we'll kind of talk about in each of these steps. So step 1 is to engage the key players and document the current state. So this is when we'd be working together to identify the key roles and meeting with key staff to set expectations and understand the current state of the lead agency's CCDF systems. And that is a big bulk of the work to occur over about 10 to 12 weeks. After that, we're going to want to document the future state, and that's determining the future state goals and rank those goals to aid in decision-making, then benchmark those goals to estimate potential outcomes and to measure performance. So that is approximately 4 to 6 weeks. Then step 3 is to identify gaps and opportunities. And this is when we'll work together to analyze IT and data systems impacting all of those business needs for the CCDF program, and some objectives to find the strengths and weaknesses, as well as identify any dependencies, such as if business process re-engineering needs to occur, if there's infrastructure upgrades or changes to organizational alignment or hiring. So there's a lot of considerations there. That work would take approximately 3 to 6 weeks. Next would be identifying to identify the IT strategic roadmap initiative. So that's ranking any gaps based on the impact to the lead agency's goals, then identify the projects that will fill those gaps, assess resources, estimate the cost and timeframes, and then sequence the projects based on some of those dependencies. And that work would take approximately 6 to 8 weeks. Finally, the last step is to document the IT strategic roadmap. So that would be when we'll draft up the roadmap, present it to key staff for feedback solicitation, and then incorporate any changes before publishing a final IT strategic roadmap for lead agencies to use. And that would be approximately 4 to 6 weeks. So that is the development phase. So let's talk a little bit about implementation. So at the conclusion of the IT strategic roadmap development efforts, the lead agencies involved will have the opportunity to apply for ongoing consultation and support services from DISC to achieve priority aspects of the plan over an agreed upon consultation period of up to 24 months. The application will allow DISC to evaluate the lead agency's ability to implement and complete the initiatives within the IT strategic roadmap in those agreed upon timeframes. The application is going to ask for some specific details about staffing and resources needed to be able to accomplish priority portions of your IT strategic roadmap and to identify any roadblocks or potential risks that may hinder the work. Lead agencies will be asked to describe how the projects align with some key OCC priorities as well. DISC will then review applications and evaluate the scope of the project, the readiness of the lead agency, and the potential impact of the project to recommend up to 10 lead agencies who will be provided that ongoing consultation. And OCC will determine and notify the participating lead agencies. DISC consultants will act as a partner throughout various activities to help each agency manage aspects of roadmap implementation and ensure that any changes made to their CCDF data and IT systems are going to provide lasting long-term benefits to the children, families, and providers served. So in this phase, the DISC team will consult and collaborate side by side with lead agencies as you begin to work implementing the IT strategic roadmap. Implementation is going to require regular collaboration between the DISC team and lead agencies to be able to create individualized work plans. Collaboration will occur through virtual meetings and potential on-site visits. The frequency and the number of meetings will be determined through review of the IT strategic roadmap, as well as initial conversations with each selected lead agency to tailor the type of support required to achieve the desired outcomes. Implementation is going to look different for each selected lead agency, but will follow a pretty standard set of steps, and they're listed on the screen. So key staff will need to be involved to review the expectations and to document project goals, scope, the timeline, and any budgetary considerations. Specific planning will then need to take place to define the activities, assign them out, and any due dates for those deliverables. And then the last step would be the delivery of any work product and to perform analysis to ensure that it's met the expected outcome. So that's a little overview, and there's much more details to come about intensive consultation, including around the processes, and further explanation of the key concepts will be explored in future DISC TA events. We really look forward to hearing from you throughout the next several months to really understand more about how we can be supportive and support you with any IT system initiatives that you may have. And we're very excited to begin working directly with you. So looking forward to that. I am going to turn it back over to my colleague, Shannon Smith, who will start to close us out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jesse, for getting us excited about all the possibilities for intensive consultation. So before we tell you about our upcoming events, we want to take a couple moments to address any questions or comments that you may have for us. So I will ask Meredith if there are any questions for us to discuss.
Thank you, Shannon. So it looks like we just got something in the chat box now. So first question is, will the slide deck be shared?
Yes, the slide deck will be shared online once the recording has been remediated and posted, and all participants will be notified that both the recording and the slide deck is available on the website.
Thank you. And there was a comment in the chat that it does seem so overwhelming, and maybe Shannon or Jesse could address this a little bit, and we could put some information in the chat box about some of the supports and webinars that are coming up to help lead agencies so that it does not feel overwhelming and they see that DISC is there to help them along the way. Could you say a bit more about that, Shannon?
Yes, sure. So we have about 2 more slides left that will address our upcoming TA events, some more webinars and those peer-to-peer learnings that will also have the links put in the chat. So if there are no other questions, I'll go ahead and move into that, if that's okay.
Shannon, can I speak to that just really quickly, because I think that came in right after talking through intensive consultation. I want to kind of put something out there. You know, thinking through how we would approach intensive consultation. You know, I've been part of, you know, different rollouts for IT systems, and they can seem overwhelming, and there's a lot of steps to them. But I do want to kind of say, you know, the idea of developing an IT strategic roadmap is meant to help really plan out and make that process not as overwhelming and not as scary. And I will say that as you're working with the DISC team, we have very specific teams that have expertise in both IT and technology and data, consulting strategy, but also subject matter experts who have worked in CCDF for many, many years and understand the childcare side of things. So we have a pretty well-rounded and representative team to ensure that all voices are heard as you are starting to look at implementing some of these IT system changes. So I know that sometimes these things feel very overwhelming, but we want to be a support. We want to be a partner with you all as you start moving into some of this.
Thank you. And we do have one other question, and I think I'll pose this question to Alex. So the question is, does DISC have open source tools or code that it would recommend to help accelerate IT transformation efforts? Alex, could you help us with that one?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the answer is yes. We, you know, through the process of IT strategic planning and IT strategic implementation, we are going to be sitting down with each of the different agencies to try to help them understand what is available. So, you know, to try to prioritize perhaps a philosophy of, you know, buying before building. And in that process, we will be recommending different, you know, potential software that already exists, or different, you know, whether it's open source or, you know, commercial off the shelf. The thing about IT transformation is that there's multiple parts to what, you know, may be included in there. So for example, many of you or some of you may be in a process of, you know, transitioning into the cloud or moving from one provider to another. And so there are products already that exist that allows you to go faster or in a more in a more secure manner, perhaps, that will accelerate that part of that transformation. Another example could be on how you develop applications or test applications, right? And so there's plenty of products, and all of that will be covered certainly in due time as we start working with all of you in a much closer scenario.
Thank you for responding to that, Alex. I know that there are a couple more questions in the chat, but for the interest of time, we do have a couple of more slides to get through, so we'll move through that. And if we have additional time, we'll go ahead and try to address those. So moving on to the next slide. So now we're going to talk about some of the technical assistance that DISC will be providing to support states, territories, and tribes in navigating the creation or enhancement of data systems. DISC TA and resources can be helpful in level setting the tech side of CCDF functions, and DISC is aware of the timing. We understand that, you know, your agencies are especially busy as you finalize the CCDF state plans and work to integrate the 2024 final rule. So let's take a look at some specific TA activities that we are planning to engage in over the next several months that may be helpful in implementing your plans. We welcome your input on what will be most helpful and what modalities best serve your needs. We know that many lead agency staff rely on the expertise of others for system development and implementation. The IT Fundamentals series consists of several quarterly webinars for lead agency staff tied to key areas of IT system modernization, development, and maintenance. This series starts with general information in Module 1 that will be accompanied by an IT glossary of terms and definitions that can be helpful as you engage with IT vendors and support staff. In the future, the series will dive into key areas like procurement, IT project management, and other topics. We also know that lead agencies have learned a tremendous amount from each other, and DISC will learn a tremendous amount by listening to all of you with your expertise. Therefore, DISC is hosting a series of peer-to-peer sessions on priority topics identified by partners in the child care system and soon by you. The It Matters, which is information technology, IT, see what we did there? The It Matters series is a community conversation designed for peer-to-peer engagement and learning, where lead agencies will have the opportunity to discuss with each other effective practices and technology innovations for CCDF program administration. Session 1 will focus on current technology use and expected impacts from the 2024 CCDF final rule, and Session 2 will focus on IT procurement. We know many lead agencies may need to procure new IT vendors to accomplish some of the final rule changes to payments, eligibility, or consumer education websites, and this is an opportunity for lead agencies to come together and share some best practices. At this time, Meredith will place in the chat the links to register for the IT fundamentals and the It Matters sessions in the chat, and there will be 3 separate registration links that will be placed there. DISC will also provide 2 webinars in the next several months to explain the purpose, goals, benefits, and outcomes of the CCDF IT environment scan and provide further instructions on completing the scan. Additional resources such as open office hours for question and answers, web page posts, and other materials will be provided alongside these webinars to provide additional information. This fall, DISC will host a webinar on intensive consultation opportunities for lead agencies, which is our individualized TA that Jesse was explaining earlier. Additional resources will be provided on the DISC webpage, including requesting intensive consultation, some question and answers, and schedules for open office hours. And at this time, Meredith will also place the links to register for the 2 webinars on the CCDF IT environment scan. So there's a part 1 and a part 2, so there will be 2 separate links for that. So now we have made it to the conclusion of our webinar. At this time, Crystal is going to launch our final poll. We would greatly appreciate it if you could fill out this quick poll about the webinar. We're asking yes or no or not sure questions about was this webinar a good use of your time? Do you better understand the role of DISC? And do you think DISC will be able to support your use of technology within your state, your territory, or your tribe? And then the last question in there is a long answer option, and it's any suggestions or comments for additional TA opportunities. So at this time, I would like to thank you all for spending your time with us. We will be posting the webinar online as soon as it is available, and the slide deck will also accompany that. And then we will also send out a link in the follow-up email letting you know when it is posted and available for review. So again, we would like to say thank you for all that you do and have a wonderful afternoon.